tell you,
Forget
Joe.
about. Okay.
Forget about it. Indeed.
We're just on the.
Story
Oh.
of a young New Yorker with a dream.
Oh no.
That New Yorker's name is Joe Dorado. Forget about it. The Joe Dorado story, from humble beginnings above in a small apartment above an organic cupcake shop.
Should I make a... Sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
Please do.
Should I make a documentary about the process of moving to New York and make it an indie film? Make it an A24 indie film?
That would be the most...
I can do that.
That would be the most self-indulgent thing.
I could do it, though. Am
Yeah,
I above it? Am I really above it?
I hope so. I know that you are. I don't know if you know that you are, but I know for sure that you are.
Because if we're being real,
it would be. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how many people move to New York City every single day? Even now.
But how many people document it? Everyone. Everyone. How many people make a vlog series about it? I'll tell you what, a lot. A lot of people. A lot. You can look it up.
NYC.
Yep. You can literally look at, like, everyone who moves to New York City has that idea, and there's so many videos on YouTube. There's literally a genre on YouTube. Yun in NYC. That's the tag. That's actually
unfinished. Like, I'm gonna be posting these every day. There's 3
and then they
videos from 2018.
Yep. And that would be me.
Oh, I forgot to do one.
Yep. And then it just never had.
Forget about it.
If I would do a documentary, a travel documentary series, but it wouldn't be on me. It would be on, like, I would easily do, like, I love travel documentaries, and I would easily do a travel documentary on, like, bringing, like, you know, on something else. Like, if there was a reason for me traveling to these places, and, like, you know, like, there was some, like, either educational side to it, or there was some event that I'm, like, showcasing, like that's different than, like, me just being like, this is my story.
Sounds like, yeah, that's true.
Like,
I don't. My story.
Yeah, like, I would only do it if it was, like, if there was some unique angle I could spin on it. Cause, like,
Sounds like you got it all fleshed out.
Dude, I love those travel shows. I gotta tell you, I would do a travel show in an instant. If someone came up to me,
what?
You guys listen, like, Keeping It Real or Traveling with, like, James May. Have you watched that show? Something with James May, dude. Well, James May's the guy from the sports Top Gear. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy's pretty funny,
dude. That guy is so fucking funny. He got his own Amazon Prime original travel show.
Okay, yeah,
and
I think I've seen that.
It is, I haven't finished it, but it's so funny. It's like some of it is just, like, a little, like, because when I started watching it, I was like, is the whole joke just gonna be, like, he's British and seen other places and, like, that's it? Because that'll be stupid and that'll be just annoying. But no, like, part of it is that, but like, I don't know how to, but, like, it's really fun, like, watching him, like, experience these new things, and it's really cool seeing, like, you really do, like, learn a few things on the show that are fun. Like, he goes to Tokyo, and that's a great episode. It's really cool. But, you know, it's not original in any sense of the word. It's just James May's a funny guy to watch, so that's why it's, like, entertaining.
That's all you need sometimes.
But, anyway, I would do a travel show. Or, like, the Zac Efron travel show. I would do that.
Oh, yeah.
I would do a travel show in a heartbeat, man. That would be sick.
Efron.
But, I'm Zac Efron in a lot of ways, I think. Anyway, welcome to Film Juice, show where we talk about,
movies.
Egos and movies, and...
Yeah. We'd be here all day with the two of us doing a podcast about that.
You know what they say about,
really
you know what they say about people who run podcasts. They love hearing the sound of their own voice.
All correct. Everybody who has a podcast should probably be
In therapy.
Well, that's a given.
Yeah.
I was gonna say put in front of a firing squad, but both
Jesus
different ways to
Christ!
solve the
Wait!
problem.
Whoa! Whoa!
Two
Whoa!
different techniques. Both would solve the issue. I'm not gonna,
think-
can't say which one was better.
I think therapy might be the easier option. Well, no, maybe not actually. You know what?
Starting to sound
That's
pretty
debatable.
good. That's right.
Firing squad sounded pretty good. Jesus Christ. Okay, we talk about movies. We talk about TV shows. We talk about news. I clap. Welcome to the show. Before we get into it, there's a little bit more of this intro that I want to talk about, and it is, I went to the first movie theater I've ever been to since COVID.
What a sentence!
That was
I did not like the way you put that sentence together.
You sent me a sentence. You sent me
Oh.
a text earlier, and you said that's quite a pretty sentence. I was like, what the
I
fuck does
said
that
that's
mean?
A pretty funny sentence. Because it's just so the sentence was we were talking about those pants that I sent you. Like I would buy those pants, but I'm saving all of my disposable income for tattoos.
Yeah.
When people
Oh, I got a new tattoo.
Which is very nice, by the way. When people like who are, dumb and don't know what they're talking about, talk about folks from Gen Z, which I think you're technically a millennial with heavy
We're
Gen
in the
Z.
middle.
Exactly. It just doesn't matter anyways.
Doesn't matter. It's stupid.
They think things like, oh, they're just getting tattoos and stuff, and just that we're living in a world where, in one way or another, that's a priority for you. Makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Just for any person.
I have to catch
more because I know you and I love you. I think it's hilarious. And like that's so that's just saving money for tattoos right now.
Yeah, I love
what
tattoos.
The fuck?
Yeah.
How about whatever happened to wars? There are no good wars anymore.
Whatever happened?
Fighting Nazis.
Whatever happened to the Peaky fucking Blinders? Whatever happened to the Peaky fucking Blinders? Whatever happened?
Oh my god, I'm laying on the floor. I'm just gonna do the podcast from.
I knew if I said that would end it. That would end it. You gotta watch that show, man. Anyway, Peaky fucking Blinders. That's the one impression. People are gonna say I do a terrible impression, but that is the one impression I think I do semi-decently. And I think I'd give you a run of your money. I think I'd give you a run of your money because you do great impressions. But that is the one impression where I'd be like, I think I can actually pull that one off pretty okay. Not Thomas Shelby, Arthur Shelby. Thomas Shelby I can't do. But Arthur Shelby, the fucking Peaky fucking Blinders. I think I can do it pretty well. Okay. Anyway.
I've never seen the show, but I know that that's bad.
Gotta watch the show, I guess, and then you'll see how wrong you are.
Can you imagine? I'm just sitting there watching like, fuck. Now I have to text Joe and just eat my own dick.
You're gonna oh god, that reminds me of a line. Holy shit, that I heard today. There's a line in a movie that we're reviewing today that is really funny that is said about that. But
yeah, this was also my first time back in the theater for some time. I had gone to see New Mutants, remember? But,
dude, I'm so sorry.
I put it on myself. And so this one I went to a Regal as well. We both went to Regal.
Yeah. Oh, I was so euphoric.
It was pretty cool. It was nice being back in there. There was a guy on his phone, talking on his cell phone.
Oh.
And it was almost like he had gone to the movies purposefully to talk on his cell phone. It was very strange. But he was on there for like the first 20 minutes of the movie or something. And it really, I don't know what, if it's just been a long time or if the theater I was in was like they really ramped everything up. But it was just the sound was just so consuming and loud it really didn't bother me. Just the one
Okay.
time I heard this guy like, "I'm talking to you, motherfucker!" Like on the, I was like, "What's he talking to?"
Who is he talking to?
And I'm just gonna tell him to
Is
be
he
quiet.
talking to
He was
me?
much
Is he
bigger
talking to
than
me? Is he talking to me? It'd be funny if you were like, because I think you said you're with your buddy. It'd be funny if you like looked to your buddy like, is he talking to me? Is he talking to me?
No, I was alone, but there was some people behind me, and they did at one point. It was a couple, and this man was like, "Get off your cell phone, please." You know how people do that thing where like they say please, but they
Yeah.
just sound so upset that it's
Yeah.
like, why even throw the please in there? You know you are angry. You are an asshole.
To
Like,
be a
just
little polite.
it's not polite though. It makes it worse if anything. It's like it feels to me like I'm gonna say please
You'd rather be like a.
essentially
You'd
so
rather
that
just
this
like let the person be like.
absolutely I would rather they
But
just
then.
say how they're feeling than be condescending or patronizing
Oh.
about it.
Oh, I was talking
This is
about.
what I get from
No, I
that.
see what you're saying. I was talking about the person on the phone.
Oh no, I mean obviously that's just
Mm-hmm.
crazy,
I got you.
but yeah,
I
it was
was
like
like,
please, and I was like if these two start going at it, I'm not moving. Maybe if things get really bad, I will leave the theater, but I'm not doing shit. If somebody help, nope. I
you
mean,
are.
you two got yourselves into this. I'm not doing a damn
If
thing.
shots start getting fired, I'm not fucking moving.
Probably not. I mean, not
I'll
that
fucking
serious.
take a bullet.
I'm gonna take some.
I'd rather take a bullet than move
These
for
3D
my
films are
pride.
getting a little out of hand.
Dude,
Am I right,
the
folks?
your pride's gonna get the best of you one of these days. You're what?
Yeah, you're probably right.
I know I sound like a movie character saying that. Like it sounds like a line from a
Mark
movie.
my words, Joe Carter.
Your hubris will be
You
the death of you.
You, Joe Carter, you're gonna get yours the next time you come around. That old horse is gonna get you in trouble, Buster.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's what happened. I'll tell you what, Joe. This is
Yeah.
gonna be an episode. I'm exhausted. I'm so tired.
No, I'm
I'm ready
okay
to
with
go
it.
home.
I know. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna be loose. I'm probably gonna forget about it. I might lose my place a couple times as
I
we're
mean, these are
talking.
my favorite episodes, so
But
I'm okay with it.
it's gonna be a weird low energy for
I'm
me
okay
today.
about
But
it.
that's
I'm
why I
okay with it.
appreciate you. You know, I'm here with you, and we're doing the damn thing.
I fucking love it. I mean, it's one of my favorite energies. Okay. Yes, really quickly. Yeah, I went to the theater today. It was pretty cool. Haven't been there in a while. I was hoping for an empty theater. There were two other people, in the theater, which was a bummer. But like, it wasn't a big deal. I mean, it didn't matter. But I like having empty theaters. It was me and my one buddy went. And I'm really glad I wasn't there alone because for the movie that we saw, because like I feel like that movie alone wouldn't be very enjoyable. But we'll talk about it. Like, I feel like I really wish I saw that movie with you, and we were at the Dunkirk movieplex, because
Yeah.
that would have been a perfect movie to just fucking shoot the shit, and like that would have been a good one to have an empty theater for.
A lot of shit gets shot.
Yeah. But but it just felt good. It didn't matter. It felt good being in the theater. It felt good sitting down and just like having the sound, and you know, it was a good time. And I'm very, very pleased with I'm very happy with the experience. It was a good first experience back. And it makes me so fucking excited for A Quiet Place at the end of the month. Makes me very excited. And
That one's coming up.
yeah, and you know, it makes me even more excited for No Time to Die. It makes me excited for because I'm super excited for No Time to Die. And it
So this is the one. Is this the one that's gonna have Rami Malek in it?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That really puts all this pandemic shit into perspective.
Yeah.
That we haven't gotten that movie
It's
yet.
gonna be that was the first movie that got delayed, I think. No Time to Die. I remember.
First big one anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that was the one that set off the chain reaction for all the other ones. But we're gonna that movie and then dude, like, I literally thought to myself on the way home, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be able to see Dune in the theater. I was like, that's like,
nothing was gonna stop me from going to see Dune in the theater, Joe.
Dude, we gotta get IMAX tickets for that when that shit comes out.
Great idea.
We gotta do that. That's a movie I want to see in IMAX, like, easily. Like, that's like, oh, like, that'll be so sick. But yeah, so yes, I know Spiral comes out today. It came out today, but it was just a little too late to catch that one.
We should maybe we could you and I both go to the theater then, like, next week or whatever, because I assume that we're going to do that on the show next week probably.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I can see it. Chris Rock doing his Chris Rock thing, trying to not get murdered. So yeah, anyways, theater experience was good. It felt really good to be back. Over a year I haven't been able to go to the theater, and it was really, really cool to oh god, just eat my fucking popcorn, not be paranoid either, because, like, in reality I could have gone to a theater beforehand, but, like, because there were theaters that were open, like, beforehand, but, like, you know, with my family and everything, I really wanted to, like, make sure I was, like, fully vaccinated, my family was fully vaccinated, so, like, and, you know, that's just, like, a me thing. So, like, I'm really glad. So, like, just for my paranoia's sake, it was really nice. Like, I didn't have to, like, sit there and worry about, it wasn't, like, the thing in, like, the main thing in the back of my mind, you know? Like, it's, like, it was nice. So, that was cool. It felt, like, close to normal. And everyone's wearing a mask, and when you eat, and it was great. It was good stuff. Anyway, it was cool. And made me feel good. So I'm happy that happened, and I'm excited to keep going. I'm excited to fucking keep doing it. Like, goddamn, like, who? Anyhow, I mean, it kind of reminded me of when I, like, got this tattoo. Is immediately after I got it, I was like, I gotta get more of those before summer's over, because I had a rule. Well, you're right, but I had a rule, but I actually want to get it before summer starts. I had a rule that I was going to get 1 to 2 tattoos every summer, and then last summer I couldn't get any, so I'm kind of catching up this summer, so that's why I'm getting more. That's why, like, when I told you, like, I already got another appointment, and I might even have a few more smaller ones that are going to be getting done in the next couple of weeks. Like, I might get one.
Are you going to get any on your neck?
I'm going to get one. I might get one on the back of my neck. That's the only spot on the neck that I would get it. One on the back of my neck, one on, like, this part of my chest, and then the big one is going to be here. But these are going to be super small. They're just going to be walk-ins that are super small. The same guy who did the snake would do those. But this one's going to be a bigger piece by a different artist, and I'm really excited for that. But, anyhow, so I'm excited for that. But anyway, I gotta make sure that that's all in order and stuff. But anyhow, the point I was trying to make is, with tattoos, doing the tattoo, I realized, I was like, damn, like, and with doing this theater thing, I was like, it's crazy, like, how much I missed, like, doing that kind of stuff, that now, like, I just want to keep, like, doing that kind of stuff. Like, yeah. I'm ready for the next big movie to come out so I can go to the theater and watch it again. Like there's gonna be some movies that I'm gonna watch on streaming, sure, but, like, if it comes to like, you know how Disney Plus is doing, like, Premiere Access, right? Okay, I don't really, we've talked about this on the show, I don't give a shit about Black Widow. I really don't. But I'd rather pay $12 to see it in a theater than pay $30 to watch it at home. Like, that's a no-brainer. So, like, in that instance, it's actually better to just go to the theater and watch that movie.
Right.
So I think that's gonna be a case sometimes. But yeah, I think theaters might start coming back a little better than I thought. Did you see Regal switch to Pepsi though? That was a
I
big
did see
bummer.
that.
I
That's
was really
bull-
sad. I was really sad. I went to the theater. I was like, "Oh, can I get a cherry Coke?" And then he like went and then I looked and I was like, "They got him too.
Messed
They
up.
got them
Pepsi.
too."
Let me tell you something. Pepsi is garbage.
So I
Actually
settled with a Pepsi.
cherry
I
Pepsi. If you
settled.
gotta have cherry Pepsi, that's all right.
They didn't even have cherry Pepsi.
Yeah, I know.
So I had
I
to
know.
settle with a Pepsi. Cause like I don't want Mountain Dew. I don't want
I
Mountain
know.
Dew.
Ugh.
And they
I
didn't
mean,
have
I like Mountain Dew, but
they didn't
that's what I got when I went, and it tasted weird. But
they didn't have
it's got
they
nothing
didn't
to do
have
with
any of
nothing.
the good like Pepsi products. Like isn't Dr. Pepper a Pepsi product?
No, I think
I thought it
Dr.
was.
Pepper. Dr. Pepper's its own thing.
Well, they should have had Dr. Pepper. They didn't have Dr. Pepper. That's my go-to if there's no Coke or cherry Coke. Dr. Pepper's my go-to. Dr. Pepper's great. It's like everything. Anyway, okay. Excited for theaters to be back, and yeah, I also want to go to a drive-in too soon. I think that'll be good. Yeah, but anyhow, let's we're gonna get into the movie we got to see in the theaters, and now we're gonna be able to start doing that again. But in a little bit, let's get into just some quick movie news. The biggest thing, which is the first thing we'll just get out of the way, is the trailer for Venom 2 and the poster and just a lot of the promotional stuff came out.
There will be carnage.
Yeah, there will be carnage. That came out. And dude, I've been waiting to talk to you about this, like, because I sent you it, and you already know I think how I feel about this trailer, but like, this trailer actually looks like so much like this. This trailer actually was a really good trailer. Like, as trailers go, I think this was a good fucking trailer. Like, they took the issues that I had with the first Venom movie. It seems like they addressed those in the trailer. And I think that was the move. Like, immediately you can tell that, like, they're going for a much, like, more, like, the tone they're going for is a lot, like, better. Like they're giving Eddie Brock and Venom a personality. And that's what the first movie I think was very much missing, was that relationship. And I think the fact that they show that front and center in this movie is very, like, it made Eddie Brock instantly more appealing, and like the whole persona of Venom, like, so much more appealing. So right out of the gate, I was all for it. Like, it was so fun to watch, and I was like, if the trailer is this fun to watch, I can only imagine how good this movie, like, how fun this movie will be. Like, whether it's good or not, I don't know, but I think it could be very fun.
Yeah, I think it will be as well, and I was happy to see that with the trailer also, and it doesn't feel to me like it doesn't feel like they're forcing these changes.
No,
it feels very natural. It seems to make sense. Venom and Eddie have obviously been together for quite a long time now. Venom's now been living in New York. It seems very natural, the trajectory that they're shown to be on now.
It was so cool.
And obviously, I think it's gonna be really cool. I liked that first Venom.
Yeah.
I gave it a pretty high score when we reviewed it. I gave it like a 7 or maybe.
I think I gave it.
Because I love Venom.
I think I gave it a little lower.
Character.
Yeah.
I love the early comics that feature Venom. And obviously a big part of that is Carnage. And so we got to see at the very end of the last movie Woody Harrelson locked up playing Cassidy.
Yeah. Yep. It looks like they fixed his hair, which is good, because his hair was really weird.
But his hair did look like it looked in the comics. Like
yeah. it just didn't fit Woody
Yeah, I
Harrelson, so
understand.
like it was just
Well,
strange.
it's so weird because he's
Yeah.
obviously bald. We
Yeah.
all know it.
Yeah. He ain't fooling anyone. He isn't fooling
I don't
anyone.
think and I don't think he's trying to.
Um, but no, we do get to see more of him in this, and
We get to see a lot of him. The Carnage shots
are
that we see,
sick.
they seem to me like I feel like they weren't super brief, but I also feel like we didn't get a great look
I'm
at
okay at it. I'm okay with that.
Oh,
I
of
don't
course.
wanna. Sony has the worst. This is why I'm surprised. Sony makes god awful trailers. I gotta say, I hate Sony trailers. Almost every Sony trailer shows like the entire movie. They show also almost every Sony trailer shows the final shot of the movie in the movie. They did that in. They literally did that with the first Venom trailer. The first Venom trailer has the last shot of the movie in the trailer. Like they do that. They do it all the time. They're so guilty of it. I was very surprised at this trailer being like as enjoyable as it was, and like I expected it to be like okay, but it kind of blew me away that it was actually, in my opinion, a good trailer. I like that they don't show too much of Carnage because I want that to be saved for the big screen. Honestly, like I probably am gonna stay away from all the other trailers that come out for this movie, like,
oh, wow.
because I saw enough in this trailer. I don't want to know. I don't want to know more than this. Like I thought this was enough. Like I don't need more than this. And I just know Sony's guilty of putting out too much. And I don't want to get spoiled on other shit. Like
Yeah, and I think that'll probably be their move because I think that the consensus is that this is a good trailer and it's getting people excited. So
yeah.
it
So
wouldn't
like
surprise me if Sony decides to go all in.
yeah, so like I don't want to see too much more of Carnage. Like the amount I saw of it, I was like, okay, that like I'm on board. It looks cool. I don't want to get spoiled on the coolest parts of the movie before I see, especially if like, cause like what they'll do is they'll show these parts of the movie that are like the best parts of the movie, but like they don't happen very often, right? I don't want like so like if there's a lot of carnage in the movie, which I hope there is, then I guess it won't be a big issue, but I don't know. I hope there's a lot of carnage in the movie, and I hope like there's a lot of cool like moments with Carnage in the movie. I hope it's not where he's Butch Cassidy. Jesus Christ, why did I just say Butch Cassidy? The Sundance Kid. I hope it isn't what's his name?
Who are you talking?
What's Carnage's character's name?
Oh, Cassidy.
Cassidy. I hope it's not Cassidy. Like, I hope that they don't. Like, I hope he's not. Like, I hope. I don't know. I hope there's like a good amount of carnage because I think that's what people want to see. I don't want them to underdevelop Cassidy, but like.
No, of course not. And they won't. I mean, it's. I think. Well, it's an interesting thing to have to balance in this instance because excuse me now. Because of the actor that you have playing Carnage, Woody Harrelson, I mean, you want him to be on screen for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, that character seems to me that he would be more comfortable as Carnage. Like being Carnage out and causing mayhem and things like that at all times. So that also makes a lot of sense to do.
The two concerns I have for this movie, actually the main concern I have for this movie, there's really only one. And we talked about this on the Film Juice show, the TV show, when we reviewed the movie. And this was one of my gripes with the first movie. The jury's out on this still, but this movie needs to be rated R. It has to be rated R. I don't see how this movie.
Was the last one?
It was PG-13, and I said that I thought that was a bad move, and we both agreed that we thought it would be a lot better if the movie was rated R.
Oh, of course.
Because you could just tell with a few parts, like that they were like it just could have been so much cooler. But this movie, like with Carnage, they just can't pull punches with Carnage. He is literally made out of his own blood. Carnage is Cassidy's blood. Like, and I'm really glad that they're staying true to that in the comics, because it looks like when he gets the thing stuck into him, the blood is what activates it.
Right.
And I really like that they're staying true to that, because I was worried that it was going to be some other, like, nonsense that they were going to, like, pull. But I like that it is literally his blood. Like, because that is, like, part of the cool, like, thing with Carnage is, like... I mean, it is a symbiote, don't get me wrong. But it's in his blood, like, and that's where it's different from Venom, where... Because I don't think Venom is specifically a part of his blood. Like, that's a little different. Yeah, so I really like that they're doing that. Like, this movie seems like they're going a little bit more with the comics, which I like, because, like I said, they're focusing more on Eddie and Venom's relationship, and I think those were the best parts of the first movie, and I think it's just gonna make this movie, like they're really gonna, like, bring it home with this movie, and also they fixed Eddie's voice, which I really appreciated. Like, Eddie's voice was just weird in the first movie, and they fixed that accent. I don't know what was weird. Like,
it was very sick.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, so I'm very excited. I think it's gonna be, like, dude, that bit in the beginning with him cooking eggs, that was so good. That was such a good intro. Like, I love that shit.
Yeah.
And when he's, like, in the store and, like, people know about Venom and, like, like, I just really like that Venom is a character now. I really appreciate that. Like, that is a huge thing, because that's how it is in the comics. Like, Venom's his own fucking thing, right? Like, I like that.
Yeah.
So anyways, I know but I think that's like the big, are there any more thoughts on this trailer?
I'm just ready for it. I'm just ready to see what they've got in the tank, and I like I said, I liked the first one well enough, but I hope that this one is better, and I think that it will be. It's a huge move bringing Carnage into the, because he's, I mean, such an important character to Venom's whole storyline and history, and also a very popular character in a lot of ways. So,
like I said, I think that this is the thing. I think that I know you love your origin stories. I know you love your origin stories. But weirdly enough, I think this movie's gonna benefit. I think this movie's gonna. My prediction, I hope, and this is what I hope, because I always hope this, because, you know, I think I rated Venom like a 6 or a 6.5. I hope this movie's better. I want this movie to be better, and I think one of the things that's to its benefit is the fact that it's not an origin story.
In this case, absolutely. That's clear from the trailer.
Now they can just focus on what made the first movie, like, good, and they don't have to... Not saying, like, all of the... like, there was just, you know, there's a lot of, like... The villain in the first one was weak as hell. Right. The exposition was just whatever. So, like, there's, like... But in this, like, I think they really found their groove, you know? So that's cool. And they could be a really good sophomore movie. So I'm really excited. A really good sequel. I don't know why I said sophomore movie.
I don't know. I liked it, though.
So I think it could be a really good sequel. And I think if this movie does well, we're going to get a crossover with Spider-Man, Carnage, and Venom.
That'd be crazy.
And the reason why I think we're going to get that is because there's been so much fucking talk of the Spider-Man universe in Marvel universe still being connected with the Sony Spider-Man universe, which it is, I guess, because Morbius
so much,
is in the same universe as Spider-Man.
About it, but obviously we've not seen anything from it, so I think it's hard for us to really conceptualize and know what their plans are at this point, because we've seen absolutely nothing.
I will say, if there's a mention in this movie of a snap, I think people are gonna lose their... Or the blip. people are
Yeah,
gonna lose their minds. People are gonna be like I think that could be an after credit scene where they talk about a blip and then like there's some talk of like Spider-Man or something. People are gonna lose it because that's gonna be the next. If they, I think that could easily be the next movie. Like I could see Spider-Man and Venom being in the next movie, which would be sick. That'd be so fucking cool. But we'll see what happens. Anyhow, yeah. So, the poster looks cool. I don't know if you saw the poster, but it's really cool. There's no release date yet, sadly. It says coming soon. Well, maybe. Oh no, there is a release date. Just on the poster, it doesn't have a release date. It's September 24th. So, yeah, soon enough. Also, a lot more cast was announced for Knives Out 2.
This is one of those movies.
Yeah.
That again, I just wish didn't have a sequel, because it didn't need one.
It didn't need one.
And I'm sure this movie will be very entertaining in a lot of ways, but it cheapens it to me, and it just doesn't. It just
I agree.
doesn't. I mean, obviously, I'm not the one that's gonna make any money off of this movie, so it's not worth it in my mind to do this. I think I just want one movie to just be
not be a sequel.
Be what Knives Out was.
Yeah,
not
I could see
plot wise or anything, but like as entertaining and stuff.
And not need a sequel. I could see that.
Story, yes, and just stand on its own, not get a sequel, like you said.
Catherine Hahn has been cast. Daniel Craig, obviously, Dave Bautista, Edward Norton, Janelle Monáe. So, it's pretty crazy cast. We'll see. It might be really good. This is the thing. I could see it being kind of like Murder on the Orient Express, where it's just following this inspector on his different cases. That's what I think that where he's going.
Yeah, of course. Here's the problem. Knives Out, there was so much time where we were not with Daniel Craig's character. We got a lot of different perspectives, mainly, I can't remember the character's name, but the main female, she was the protagonist.
Yeah, she was.
Not Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
So but it is kind of an interesting idea to, if you just do a bunch of stories like that and just kind of have Daniel Craig be the only connecting thread, but still not the center.
Yeah, it is tough.
Exactly.
It is tough. We'll see what happens. I agree. It's gonna, it'll be interesting to see for sure. Also, I just saw this, but Friends the Reunion is gonna premiere May 27th on HBO Max. I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh yeah.
I guess, is that a movie? Yeah, I assume.
I don't know what it is.
I assume it's like a special movie event or something.
Kind of reunion special.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I mean, I'm sure. I'm honestly surprised it didn't happen sooner, because like.
Well, it's so much money.
Exactly.
And not everybody wants to do it unless you get a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
So it's a long time.
So, I'm sure they're gonna get plenty of money for that. Enola Holmes 2 is also officially in the works.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And Henry Cavill and Millie Bobby Brown are both gonna be in it again. So, that's stupid. I don't think it should exist ever. I don't think the first one should have existed.
Like that movie. I guess it got some pretty good reviews elsewhere.
By who? No one reviewed. No, I refuse. I'm not saying these are the. I gotta just look at like the grands. I want to see the first thing that pops up when I look up Enola Holmes reviews. If I see one good review, I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised if I see one fucking good review of this movie. Let's see. Bro, Wait. This movie actually got some good review. What the fuck?
Told you.
It is 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. fresh.
Beats the hell out of me.
Enola Holmes brings a breath of fresh air to Baker Street and leaves plenty of room for Millie Bobby Brown to put her effervescent, what the fuck is that, stamp on a franchise in waiting. These people were smoking crack. Holy shit. That's what they're giving to critics nowadays? Crack? Wow.
My day it was just cocaine and dry martinis.
Holy shit. I am floored. I thought that movie was not great. I think we both thought that. The movie was pretty not good. Wow. You know, they legalize weed in New York, and you see what happens. No, I'm kidding. One of my new favorite phrases is, you know, they're smoking the reefer. I don't know why. I just think that's a really fun phrase. Anyway, that's a side tangent. So yeah, Enola Holmes 2 is coming out. I didn't realize it got well received at all. Crazy. Loki got a new poster. That's pretty cool. You know, it's a poster. It's June 9th. I thought it was kind of cool. Doesn't show a whole lot. The only new thing in it is this coin guy. Did you see the coin guy? Or the time guy, the clock guy? That's the only thing I'm, like, interested in that the poster shows. Because, like, it's very different. It's a weird animated, like, clock, that I didn't expect to see, so we'll see.
Man.
Yeah, he's like a little clock man, so we'll see. There's something else, there was one more thing that was just announced that I wanted to bring up before we move into the first movie today. Jungle Cruise is going to be on in theaters and on Premiere Access July 30th. See, we were just talking about this. It's going to be like what, $30 on Premiere Access? So like, yeah, I'm just going to go to the theater to see that movie. Like, I'm not going to pay $30 to watch
Are they going to put it out earlier on Premiere?
No, it says same day.
Huh.
On July 30th.
Then I don't know what they'll do. Because that's gonna be.
Like, who's gonna pay for it on Premiere Access? Like,
I don't know. Some people maybe that are still worried about going.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. That's true. A third Psych movie is in the works at Peacock, and it's gonna be officially be titled Psych 3: This Is Gus. I didn't watch the newest one. But it's a pretty good show.
Love that show. It's incredible.
Yeah, did you watch the movie, the newer one?
I did not watch the new one. I haven't seen it yet.
Mm-hmm. But
because it's on Peacock, right?
Yeah, it's on Peacock. Mm-hmm. And there's one more breaking news thing that I wanna. There's one more breaking news thing that I wanna say because I just saw it, and I think it's interesting because we've done a special literally on this director. But Robert Eggers, his next film, The Northman, will premiere in theaters on April 8th, 2022, and it is a Viking revenge thriller, and it stars Alexander Skarsgård, Anya Taylor-Joy, Nicole Kidman, Ethan Hawke, Willem Dafoe, and Bjork. That is a nuts cast.
Well, that's gonna be a very good movie.
I can already tell, like, that sounds
strange.
It's gonna be strange.
Yeah. He's
like mixing. Oh god, that's so sick. Oh dude, I love his. I know you didn't love The Witch,
Vikings makes a lot of.
I knew he was gonna go with
next. That's great.
Yeah, I knew he was gonna keep sticking with period pieces. Like there was no way. Like that's his. You know what? If you can do something well, like, and you can bring your own thing to it, then and you can keep putting new things to it, like, keep doing it, dude. Like, I know you didn't love The Witch. I love that movie, and I know you didn't love it, but, like, you can't deny, and I think you said this, like, it's a great period piece. Like, captures that period like really well. And I know you had issues with other parts of that movie, but like it set the groundwork for what he did in The Lighthouse, and it's just like so. I think that movie's gonna be crazy. If I had to guess, it's not gonna be wild like The Lighthouse. I would imagine it's gonna be a little bit closer to like, I don't know if it's gonna be like, you know, as slow as The Witch was, but I don't think it's gonna be slow. I think it's gonna be its own thing, and that's what's great. That's what's great. I think it's gonna be its own thing, and he's just gonna fucking make a really good period piece with those great actors. So that's gonna be cool. So yeah. Anyway, that's all the. Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
I don't think so
Again,
either.
I'm a little forget about it today.
Yeah, it's fine. I like being forget about it. Let's move on to the next. It probably wasn't important. Let's move on to the next thing. The first movie. Oh boy. We both saw it in the theater.
That's right.
Not at the same time, but we did see it in the theater. And it is called The Wrath of Man. I gotta tell you,
Wrath of Man.
Wrath of Man. Guy Ritchie film with Jason Statham. Gotta tell you, I did not hear about this movie until I looked up movies to watch in the movie, like movies that came out this week, and I was like, oh, this movie came out last week, but like it's the only movie that's new that's out right now. That's it. I didn't see one trailer for it. I didn't want to see a trailer for it. I was like, you know what?
Me neither.
I just want to like go in. I just want to go in blind. Dude. Okay, I gotta review this. I gotta. I'm getting into forget about it mode too.
Sure.
I gotta summarize this movie.
Yeah.
This, because I almost just like reviewed the movie in one sentence. This movie, starring Jason Statham. Jason Statham. Jason Statham, and directed by Guy Ritchie. It is, you know, this is a duo they've worked together before. I mean, Snatch is the biggest one that they like. So like, I think they were kind of banking on that fact marketing wise in a sense, because like, you know, this is like, so like this is like, that's why a lot of the promotional material in this poster that I'm showing you right now, it's literally just like Jason Statham, Guy Ritchie, like it's like they're back, this is the return, like, you know. So I think that was like a big thing they were going for with this movie. And this movie stars Jason Statham. I didn't see the trailer, so I don't know how much is spoiling, how much isn't, but he is a bank, an armored truck driver, and he is basically, he's not the driver per se, but he accompanies the armored truck, and basically they get these large sums of cash from one point to another, and they basically have to protect it. And, you know, the whole idea is to, like, just get it from point A to point B safely, not get robbed. But there happen to be some armored truck robberies that happen with this specific company. And, you know, Jason Statham is his character is very mysterious. You don't know a lot about him. And, his armored truck ends up getting robbed, and he kicks ass, and that's kind of, and then from there you learn more about what the fuck's going on with his character, and you know, he you know, it's that I don't know what else to say, because this movie's very weirdly structured, and I don't know
very weird.
I don't know how the fuck to even like what's a spoiler and what isn't. So is that okay? Like, it's an action movie with Jason Statham, and he's trying to stop money from getting robbed. I think that's a pretty good summary of this movie. Without spoiling anything.
Yeah.
So yeah. this movie is so fucking weird. And if I saw this movie without seeing Guy Ritchie's giant name on the poster, I would have no fucking idea that he directed this movie. This movie, I hate to get right into it. This movie had no sense of Guy. I love Guy. I've seen good Guy Ritchie movies. I think one of the best part about Guy Ritchie movies is his style. He has such a distinct style. This movie had no style to it. It was so boring. It's shot-wise.
It had some style to it. I mean, I don't know.
It did not.
I think the only movies that I've ever seen of his are the Sherlock Holmes.
That's it. You never seen Snatch or?
No, I've never seen Snatch.
Okay.
But I'm familiar with it. And there are some things that I liked. I liked the.
There were some. I was a little hard.
Yeah.
There were some. The way this movie shot in some instances was like good,
Right.
but like to the standards of Guy Ritchie that I'm like. Even if we compare it to Sherlock Holmes has like much better and more interesting work
than
like.
That's a period piece that's got a very steampunk definitive vibe.
But
to it.
But shot wise,
happening.
But shot wise, it is so much more dynamically interesting and action wise than this movie is. Like this movie is not interestingly shot, as how Guy Ritchie movies are.
Look, that's true. I mean, look, this is a very generic action movie.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Exactly.
Sherlock
That's what I'm
Holmes,
saying.
Again, for example, we get a real insight into that character. That's just not what this movie was about.
I know. I'm saying that Guy Ritchie, he has it's like when you go see a Wes Anderson movie. He has a distinct style that you are expecting to see when you see his name on the poster directed by Guy Ritchie. I mean, Guy Ritchie just came out with that new movie before COVID. Was it called The Gentleman? Yeah. And that movie you could tell just from the trailer that it was a Guy Ritchie movie. Like, you could tell instantly. And, like, this movie did not have that. And I'm not saying that it's the worst shot action movie ever. That's definitely not what I'm saying. And I might have come off like that. It's just, it is below the bar that I set Guy Ritchie to. And that might be unfair of me, but I've come to know that all the movies I've seen of his are not generic. And this one is the most, it was just disappointing. Because I went into it seeing that it was Guy Ritchie and Jason Statham. And I was like, I don't think this is going to be the best movie ever made. But I think it's going to be, like, really stylized and, like, cooler than a random-ass Jason Statham movie. And it just didn't live up to that. So I think I had a little bit higher expectations going into it. And that might be on me. And that's okay. But...
No, I mean, I think you make an excellent point. I mean, you use the Wes Anderson example. You put up any director that's known for having a specific style or known to deliver on certain unofficial promises with their devoted audience. It sounds like this fell short of that. So I think you're very right to make those statements.
The only thing I'll say is I'm being a hypocrite in this sense, because I also hate the idea of keeping a director in a box. But that's not, I want to be very clear, that's not what I'm not saying a director can't switch up their style.
Right. What I think, if you want, hoping that when a director does do something different, it's because they're taking a risk. They're getting into this, really testing out some things stylistically. Yeah. This is a regression.
Yeah, in my opinion. Like, I don't think he's adding anything. And you know how I can prove that in this is the last thing I'll say about it, and then because I know I've been ranting. I can prove that I know that he wasn't trying to do something special stylist. Well, maybe he was. You know what? But in my opinion, this is evidence on why it was a regression. You know how, like, his whole thing, one of the big stylistic camera shots that he always does in every Guy Ritchie movie is the close-up tracking shot on the head? And, like, you know how it vibrates the screen around? Like, everything around the head is vibrating, and it just tracks the head in the middle of the frame. You know that, like, shot? They did it in Sherlock Holmes. Yeah. They've done it in all his movies. I was waiting for that to be in like utilized in one of these action scenes, and it wasn't. It was utilized in one scene, and it was out of nowhere, and it lasted 2 seconds, and it was the weirdest. It was literally like Jason Statham like got up to go somewhere, and it just tracked his head getting up, and it was like so weird, and it was so out of place, and I was like, that served no purpose other than like it's Guy Ritchie and he just didn't know where else to put it, and he felt like he had to put it somewhere, so he put it there. And it's like there's so many cool action moments where you could have put that, like you could have done that technique, and I don't know. Who am I to say? Who am I to say? But I thought it was a little lazy. I just think it was a little lazy in some parts. That's all. But anyhow, that's my one. That's like one of the gripes I had that I wanted to get out of the way, because that was like something that kind of was out there.
Okay, well that's good to know, because like I said, I'm not too familiar with Guy Ritchie's stuff. I've heard about him a lot, but I've not seen a lot of things that he's done. But I'll say that I mean, this is very much one of those, I think you said a few minutes ago, like a random Jason Statham movie. This is very much one of those ones. Except for there are a couple isolated incidences where the composition is really cool.
Yep.
And they do like maybe kind of a cool camera movement. Not really for any reason, but it still looks cool.
Yeah.
So those few moments are barely enough to put it over as a more generic action film in some ways. The other problems are, though, that it does still stick so much to that stereotype in a lot of its dialogue, and the fact that the story is, you're not the most invested in it.
The dialogue in this movie was so weirdly like bad. So this is what I mean by it. The first act of this movie, the dialogue sticks so... First of all, the acting in the first act of this movie and the dialogue in the first act of this movie, I'm not saying the actors are bad. Well, no. All of the acting in the first act of this movie is not good. Like, I don't care if they're a big actor or not. The acting, it's not just the dialogue. It is also the acting in this first part of the movie. Like, the first act of this movie is just so, like, poorly acted. And I think it was definitely part of the dialogue, but man, like, everyone was just cardboard. It was crazy. I was like, holy shit. Like, it was so hard not to... But it was weird because you don't expect... These are big actors. Like, some of these actors are huge. So, like, it's weird, like, seeing them, like, act so stiff and, like, just deliver exposition so, like, dryly. It's crazy. So, like, it's so weird to see. And it was, like, I'm glad I saw it with someone because I was able to, like, laugh at some of these lines with, like, him because, like, it was, like, so just... Some of these lines were not good. Like, oh my god, they were so laughably bad at some parts. Like, there's this whole intro, and this isn't spoiling anything because it doesn't matter to the rest of the plot. There's this intro where these two armored truck guys are talking to each other in the beginning. That was the worst. That was the worst, like, dialogue. That was some of the worst dialogue I've heard in a movie. And so, oh my god, hey, you get that new coffee pot? Like, it was so bad.
I felt like that was...
It was so bad. I was laughing so much. It was so bad. I wasn't laughing that much, but...
In such a way... that felt to me like a joke. Like if we were writing something to make fun of this genre and its tropes, that's what we seen
exactly
what those guys are saying.
But this wasn't that movie, so it just was weird. Right?
Weird. I don't know, maybe...
No,
Joe. I
This
don't
was
know.
not self-aware enough to do that. Cause like, I wish it was, but it wasn't. I've been in your shoes before where I'm like contemplating. Like I've been in
Yeah.
your shoes before plenty of times. We've had this conversation.
Yep,
And
that's
usually
true.
I'm in your shoes and you're in my shoes. This movie
That's
was
right.
not there in my opinion, this movie was not self-aware. Like it was
No, but in that part, that's, I mean, almost proving your point more. It's just that in that part, it felt like it because it was so,
yeah.
eh,
It was so
Um,
I was so surprised. Like I really didn't expect it to be like so
I really did not. You know what? I liked the so the way the movie is split up is kind of weird.
Oh god, it's so weird.
I liked the chapter titles
Sure.
having set chapters
Mm-hmm.
was not necessary,
No.
and it threw me off a little bit.
Yeah, it was very weird.
The whole movie was a little weird, especially
Yeah.
because there's I feel like there's a very long period of time where you really aren't in on what's going on, and
Mm-hmm.
it does less of making you more intrigued and more of making you more confused. At
Mm-hmm.
least that's how I was.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of the Deadpool structure where it introed
Mm.
with oh okay. No, it
No, I know. No, I know
yeah.
what you mean, but it's just obviously it doesn't have the character of Deadpool to
Yeah.
add that fourth wall
But
element of
I also
walking.
thought that like it was going to cut back, but and it does, but it like doesn't it does it way later than you think it's going to.
Yeah,
So there is a whole section of this movie that I don't think needs to be in the movie. I genuinely believe that it could get cut out. It is the third chapter of this movie because
yeah,
there's 4 chapters, I think. The third chapter of this movie does not need you. It literally, it is inconsequential to the rest of like the movie. It doesn't serve any purpose to like. I understand what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to like give you some connection to these other characters and like show you some perspective.
yeah,
But it doesn't. It doesn't do it, and it makes you care about the like. It just you're just so in the end you're just sitting there watching nothing. Like it
when
just.
that chapter starts, I was completely lost.
Mm,
I did not realize what was going on. Eventually, I did, but it was
yeah.
just it really
I
just dropped right into it.
yeah. I was
That's the
okay
one. This is the one with
with
the guys,
the
right?
guys. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I was like following it. I was okay. Like it was just they didn't do it. Like I said, the first time jump that they do, I actually loved it. That was actually, in my opinion, one of the best parts of the movie because that was the first part where the dialogue wasn't bad. I don't know if you noticed that, but that part of the movie has like the best dialogue and the best acting. And it's like weird. That's why I say like this movie's weird. Like the first part of this movie feels like it's just like all these different chapters feel so disjointed in quality. Like I thought that chapter of the movie where it flashes back was so much like I just thought they did such a better job with not like with like the dialogue and the acting. Like I thought the characters that they introduced you to in that sense like were so much better, and the fact that it gave you like history and like you got some payoff with some of the visual elements that they foreshadowed in the first like part. So like I really liked that element, and I started like getting into the movie more after that part. But then they go right to the third chapter, and it lost all in it. Like it's so long, and I didn't care about these characters, and I just
Yeah.
wanted to see more Jason Statham. And if there's hardly any Jason Statham action in this movie. He also has no lines, which is fine, but
That's an excellent
he's
point.
like Gal
Because at the
Gadot.
very end,
He's like
you're
Gal
right.
Gadot in Wonder Woman.
That's an interesting call.
Isn't that interesting?
I can understand that comparison. I don't know if I would make it, but that's but it's probably correct. But that is absolutely correct about the lack of Jason Statham action.
He
'Cause
doesn't
they're
do that
at the
much.
end.
There's three. There are
You really
three.
wait. You're really waiting for. He's not. He does nothing for so long.
So I was waiting in that third chapter. I wanted
Yeah.
that third chapter to be replaced by like something. Like I thought there was just gonna be more action. Like I was like I really just like. Is it weird that I thought Hobbs and Shaw was like a more enjoyable movie than this? Like I did.
Think that is weird, but
Hobbs and Shaw at least had action. At least it had action. This movie didn't have action in it. This movie had like 2 small scenes. Post Malone's in it for no fucking reason. That was weird.
yeah. But who cares? You know,
And then
people doing cameos. It's fun.
And then,
for
dude,
them.
oh yeah, Mr. Ed Sheeran doesn't belong in Game of Thrones. Get out of here.
Fuck. You,
Got
Joe,
you.
we're not
I
talking
fucking
about-
got you on your own words.
No, you didn't.
I
No, you
did.
didn't.
Yeah, I did. It's the
That's
same
different.
fucking thing, dude. Okay.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Because at least in this movie, Post Malone does something. There are
Doesn't.
consequences to
doesn't.
his action. At least something happened.
Okay.
He also
Sure.
his moment is used for us to really see Jason Statham for the first time.
Sure.
Do you remember what Ed Sheeran did? He sang a song. And he didn't even sing all. He sang part of a song.
Yeah.
And then they cut away from it.
Yeah.
And they never went back.
Yeah, true.
It was terrible.
It was character building. It was character building for Arya.
For fucking who? The horses?
For Arya. Anyway.
No, it wasn't. No, it. How dare you? You bastard.
Anyway, also, I gotta say, one of the worst lines of dialogue in this movie, when Post Malone, I don't care if I'm spoiling this for you because it's bad. Post Malone goes, "Eat my dick," and then Jason Statham with a gun to his head goes, "Long pause, eat your own dick," and then shoots him in the head. That's... Yep. I lost my mind. I was laughing so fucking hard. It was so... God, it was so... It's just like, the reason why I think... Hobbs and Shaw's a bad movie, but I also don't think that this is a good movie. And I also think that Hobbs and Shaw had at least more, like, interesting action elements. Like, this movie just didn't have action, and I wanted action, and you expect action, and the plot wasn't interesting enough for the action to not be there. It was hard. It was kind of intriguing in the beginning, and then it loses you. And then it's like, by the end, you just don't care. It's just like, the end of this movie's awful, too. Like, I just think the end of this movie had no, like, punch to it. Had no payoff. I was not satisfied in any way by what happened.
You know what I kind of liked about it, though? Is that so much of what we saw in the flashbacks was Jason Statham's character just kind of going through this as if it's basically just... It's something he has to do, and he's just so focused on getting it done that there's nothing else in his life at that point. Everything that he does is so focused on that.
Yeah.
And so now it is done, and it's just done.
That's fair.
That
No, I was fine where
for an audience, but
I was fine where the movie ended. It was just like how it happened. It was okay, but it
again,
just...
very just by the numbers.
Yeah.
And you know what? Okay, you know what? I see your point a lot now.
I was fine with it ending there. I was completely fine with that.
Yeah.
Like the movie was it felt fucking like 3 hours long. Like the movie it took forever to get.
Feel incredibly long.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, I gotta say, the sound design I liked. I thought the hits were pretty punchy, and it felt so good being in the theater again. So like I think like that added to some of my like enjoyment of just the sound and some of the spectacle. Like I said, I just wish there was more spectacle. If this movie had like a more by the numbers plot, which it does have a by the numbers plot, but if it had even more of a by the numbers plot and like the structure wasn't weird and it just had fucking Jason Statham doing action scenes, I think I would have enjoyed it more. I'm not gonna lie. If this movie was action scenes with Guy Ritchie camera work, I would have been all for it, and that's what I thought the movie was gonna be. And that's my fault for thinking it, but I also...
No, I don't. I mean, from everything that you've said, I don't think that's your fault at all. I think that this was just.
Guy Ritchie's also...
I just think this movie just didn't deliver on what I guess we thought it would be.
Guy Ritchie is also good with, like, he wrote some of the screenplay for this movie. Or, like, he was one of the screenplay writers. Screenwriters, Jesus. His movies have good dialogue. Part of the charm and part of the charm and style of his movies is the dialogue. Like, the dialogue is, like, really characterized, and it's, you know, there's comedy in it, and it's very punchy. And I just think that this, you know, I don't know. This movie just seemed not like the dialogue in this movie was not that either. So it was just, it was weird.
I think they just went in a strange kind of direction with Statham's character. I think that all the stuff you just mentioned.
Yeah. I will say
there have worked with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could have fit.
Yeah. There are some movies where I will say just to so I'm not digging myself into a hole. There are some movies of Guy Ritchie's that I haven't seen. So, like, there are quite a few, actually. So, I could be incorrect on some of these statements. But I will say that, like, I do think there are, now that I'm thinking about it, there probably are a few films where the dialogue is, like, a little bit more dry. But, I don't know. Like, in most of the movies I've seen, it doesn't seem like... Even so, dry dialogue is different than, like, bland, worthless dialogue. And this movie just was so context heavy. It was insane. So, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I guess I feel bad. There wasn't really much... I didn't really say anything that I really liked about it. The sound design, some of the camera work was cool. But in terms of, like, Guy Ritchie, like, it's very low on the list. And yeah, it's in terms of Jason Statham, he had more cool things that he did in Hobbs and Shaw. So it was...
That was the other thing I will say is when watching this, I did think of Hobbs and Shaw because
that's the last action movie. So.
I think Jason Statham can act.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't get a chance to in this movie because of the way that this character is.
I know.
Worse, whatever.
I agree.
The character's very off-putting, I think, in the way that he's depicted.
Yeah.
Like, not just because of what he goes through, but just, like, the way that he is.
Yeah, he's weird.
You don't know what's happening.
It's a weird movie, but, you know, check it out if you want to go to... If you want to go to the theater and, like, you want to...
Yeah, I mean, you might... You know, I don't think that anybody will really hate it, necessarily.
No, it's not, like, a movie to hate. It's just, like, a weird movie. I'm sure some people might really like it. It was not for me. And yeah, I'm gonna give this movie... Ooh, you're not gonna like this. I'm gonna give this movie 5.5 juice boxes out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, based on everything you've said, I can understand that. I think that because of I didn't have any knowledge of Guy Ritchie before going into it. My experience was definitely a little different. So I think that I'll probably... I mean, I'm not going to give it much different, but I'd probably give this movie... Although, shit. I'll give it a... Yeah, exactly. I'll only give it a 6. I'll only bump it up
That's as high as I would go. I was between a 5 and a 6, so I just gave it a 5.5. But, yeah, 6 is the highest I would go.
Yeah. There's some... I mean, I think for the action that there is, some of the stuff is kind of cool.
Yeah, there is some real there are some cool action scenes. It's just like honestly, this made me want to watch Nobody in theaters. Like cuz I was like, "Oh,
Me
I want to
too.
see an action
Something
movie."
better, yeah.
I want to watch like a good action movie in theaters so bad. I might just
I was
like
thinking about that myself.
it's like I love I love I just I want to like
Bob
see
Odenkirk.
yeah I want to see but I'm glad we can see movies in theaters again. I'm so happy that they're coming out now and oh I'm so pumped, dude. So anyways, but yeah, so that's you heard it here first. That's Wrath of Man. Um
A
and
lot
yeah.
of wrath in this movie, also. Everybody's wrathing.
Yeah.
I'll say I like that part. Everybody's wrathing.
Yeah. Let's do let's get right into the throwback of the week. Andrew,
Okay. Yes.
do it up.
The throwback this week is a very fun movie, I think.
Mm-hmm.
1997, Will Smith
Mm-hmm.
at the height of his power, none other than Men in Black, the original baby.
Mm-hmm.
We got Tommy Lee Jones and Will
Yep.
Smith
Yep.
going up against a bunch of aliens.
Mm-hmm.
A bug has landed on Earth, the
Mm-hmm.
worst type of alien you can
A
imagine,
bug.
and he's gonna destroy the planet unless K and J can stop him from finding a very secret special item somewhere on Earth that's got all kinds of
It's
power.
great.
And then there's more people trying to destroy the planet
Mm-hmm.
because there's an incident with some royalty, I guess. Very good movie. Again, I apologize for the low energy description, but you've seen it. Everybody,
Yeah.
you've all seen it. It was a huge
It's a good
movie.
movie.
Everybody's seen it. I
It's a
liked
good.
this movie, and
Who doesn't?
I liked the sequel. I don't think that the sequel's really good in a lot of ways, but I still
I like the second
enjoy it.
one too. Yeah, I don't know if it's
Just
good.
the fact, spoiler alert for the second, the fact that like the Rosario Dawson's character
I
is whatever they're looking for.
I really like the bad guy in the second movie. I thought that was
Oh
cool.
yeah, bad guy is way better. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
In the second
The
movie,
thing
the bad guy's
that's
sick.
one of the things that about this movie is that the bad guy,
He's like
the
the thing.
idea behind him
Yeah.
does not seem very inspired. It's just a
Yeah.
big cockroach.
Yeah.
That's not, as an audience member, it doesn't feel as
Very alien.
intimidating
Yeah.
as they're making it out to be. Right?
Yeah. But maybe I think that's might be part of like the charm of this movie too. Like I think that's
You know what?
like
I agree. I was just talking with my pal about this.
mm-hmm.
You know, I told him we were doing it on the show, and this movie has that thing. It's just a very entertaining late '90s thing. It's got
Yeah.
that feel about it. There's those moments where like you can tell so obviously that they're like on a set, but not in a bad way. I don't mean that in a
Yeah.
bad way at all. I mean it in almost a nostalgic way, honestly. Like it just feels, you know what it is?
The
It's so
practical effects are
comfortable.
pretty good too.
Practical, that's very true, but I just finished it. Like
Yeah, I
it's
got
very
you.
comfortable.
Mm.
You know, this is a movie back when blockbusters were blockbusters in a sense, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You could sit there and know that you're going to be taken care of watching this movie. The good guys are going to win, bad guys are going to lose. Will Smith's going to do a little song at the end. You know what you're getting.
Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah, and that doesn't take anything away from it.
Yeah.
But the practical effects, that's something that I never really paid too much attention to before this time watching it, is that
Yeah.
with Edgar, who is the bug, you know, or at least
Yep.
that's the guy whose skin he takes and stuff. That makeup job is nice, man.
Yep.
They do an excellent job.
The puppetry's really good.
The way that that makeup in particular progresses throughout the movie, where this guy is still walking around, but the skin suit that he's wearing is kind of starting
Yeah.
to decompose.
Yeah. It's really well done. They did a good job. I really liked all the makeup that they did a great job with the makeup in this movie. And
I'll tell you what, one of the
Mhm.
funniest it's a tough gag to beat when
Mm-hmm.
you've got like, oh, celebrities are aliens and they're up at, like, that's funny.
Yeah.
Justice.
Yeah. They I gotta say the visual comedy in this movie is pretty good. They have like a lot of it. Will Smith like and Tommy Lee Jones. First of all, their chemistry is great. I mean, their whole like at this point, obviously, it's like so overdone, but like with this movie, it's like very, very like fresh. Like you love like
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith's like chemistry is so good, and they like
Yeah.
they're dry. Like Tommy Lee Jones's dry humor is so fucking like he nails every single beat in this movie, dude. Like
Yeah, I know what you mean. And their dynamic is, like you
yeah,
said, really good. Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones, so I got me thinking about Batman Forever, which is the
the one with
movie where
Arnold's. That's the one with Arnold
no.
Schwarzenegger. Oh, I thought it
Batman
was.
Forever is no, that's Batman and Robin. Batman
Oh,
Forever is when Val Kilmer was Batman and Tommy Lee Jones played Two-Face and Jim Carrey
yes, yes,
played
yes, yes,
Riddler.
yes, yes.
There's a famous story from that where Tommy Lee Jones told Jim Carrey that he like hates his guts and stuff.
Whoa.
Um, and that's because they're both of their characters in that movie were both kind of became these eccentric caricatures in a way. So they were both kind of fighting the actors. You end up just fighting each other. They're naturally in their performances going against each other. Here, the roles are very well defined. Will Smith does his thing. Tommy Lee Jones does his
Mm-hmm.
thing. Everybody gets their moment, chance to shine, and the dynamic works. We keep saying that because it's true.
It was so good. Like,
Yeah.
and there's so many good gags, dude. The iconic fan room, that I'll never forget that image for the rest of my life. The guy with the newspaper reading the guy on the chair reading the newspaper and the giant fan, and then
Oh,
that's how
when
you
he,
get into the base. That's like
yeah,
that is an image I'll never forget. It's just iconic. That is an iconic like image. Like it's a great shot. I just love that shot. It's like so like I don't know. It just says a lot about like
yeah.
it sets up so much. Like
No, I know
in
what you mean. That's a perfect example of the feeling that this movie brings when you watch it as a
mhm,
whole, is that isolated moment. And
yeah.
that's some. It reminds me of movies that we've talked about before that do lend themselves to becoming part of the cultural zeitgeist that are really just purely fun, entertaining movies.
Mhm.
They there's something about them that we have never been able to describe on this show.
Mhm.
I don't even know how you would begin to, but I'm pretty sure that everybody knows what we mean when we talk about it.
Oh, like when it's like a classic.
Yeah, kind of.
It's like a similar
But a
idea.
specific classic like this, like just something that's very light, fair, really does a great job of bringing you into the story, into the world that it
Mhm.
builds. That's what this movie does. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. This movie,
It's
great
great.
ride at Universal, also,
It
which
does. It
that's
is a
not for
great. It's an
nothing.
underrated ride, I think, at Universal. I think it's. I sadly. I hope I'm wrong, but I sadly think it's gonna be one of the ones to get like. They're gonna like do something over it. Like
Possible. I don't know.
and it's a bummer because I do love that ride,
Me
but
too.
I have a feeling that that ride and the Mummy ride are two rides that they're gonna revamp, and
I don't. The thing is,
it's a
the
bummer.
thing is that Mummy ride at this point has so outlived and outshone the movie that it's based on, because
Yeah,
that's a great ride. So
it is. It's a
you know,
really good ride.
at this point, I think I would not be surprised if a lot of people that go there and really enjoy that ride have no
Mhm.
idea that The Mummy is a movie.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
that's something that's definitely not necessary for that ride to be successful, as opposed to the Men in Black ride, which I think is, while it is a great ride, you
Mhm.
need to understand the movies for it to make sense a little bit that you
Yeah,
are
true.
part of this. organization from the movies that's fighting these aliens.
Yeah, it just makes so much. I mean, the ride idea is so smart, right? Like you're in the firing range, like training, but like it's sick.
And then it's like,
really
go
cool.
down.
Yeah.
Rip Torn, by the way, in this movie, Rip Torn, absolute legend,
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal. What a gosh, incredible.
It
I think
also this has one of the most like iconic red button scenes like ever. It really does.
This movie is the red button scene,
Yeah,
you know?
you're right. Like I think this might be the first movie. Also, the theme is so good. The dun dun. Wait, how does it go again? It's I just heard it. I get it mixed up with the Beetlejuice theme sometimes. Weirdly enough.
I don't understand that.
Now I can only think of the Beetlejuice theme now. But I swear it's a good theme. Like I just can't think of it off the top of my head. But it is really good. Like I do love the theme of this movie. It's iconic whenever you hear it. And yeah, obviously it has the mind eraser.
Oh yeah,
The memory erasers.
another classic.
It is classic. It's great.
The neural
Yeah.
disruptor, whatever they
Yeah,
call it. The
it's really
cricket, the little gun. I mean, that's fucking hilarious. I remember laughing at
Oh
that.
yeah, and it
so
shoots like a
much.
giant fuck. Yep.
Yeah, that was great. That was really
Dude,
great.
like I said, it's really good. I know we're not reviewing the other movies, but honestly, like the second one and the third one, I also like don't mind. Like I think the third one is like okay, but like
Mhm.
a lot of people do not like the third one, which I get. But like I think the third one is like a fine movie. Like I think it's fun, and I think like it's like
Sure. Yeah, I would think that it's a distant third in this
yeah.
trilogy, the Will
Yeah.
Smith trilogy of.
Oh
movies.
yeah, I think like the second one is still like better than the third one. Like I think it definitely goes downhill
Right.
as it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, I think the second one the villain in the second one is really cool. Like it's definitely I like the villain in the second one. Like it's just more iconic
Yeah.
than the first one. But doesn't matter like this movie's gross too. The movie has some gross parts, which is good. It's cool. It adds to it. But like I think the reason why it looks gross is cuz it's like the practical elements of it are so well
Right.
done. So, and that's part I mean he's a fucking cockroach, right? So like it's like supposed to be like fucking gross. Oh, when he
Yeah.
eats the fucking cockroach, I always hate that part, dude. When he steps on it and or no, he goes
What are you
he
gonna
goes
do?
he goes and then he goes and he like sticks it in his mouth and it's so gross. And he like has the crunch sound. Oh
Yep,
yeah.
Yep,
His
they're
eye
crunchy.
his
Those little guys are crunchy.
his eyes like fucking falling off. Like it's not actually falling off, but he looks
Yeah.
like he has leprosy. Like this guy looks he's fucking I mean
he's
I mean-
decomposing before our very eyes.
exactly. It's good. Like he should look like he has leprosy. He's a dead body, but it's still like fucking disgusting. It's
Yeah.
so great though. Yeah, so oh man, what are you going to rate this one?
I think at ultimately taking everything into account, the
Mhm.
feel of I think the obviously the rewatchability of this movie's pretty high.
Mhm.
All things considered, though, I think I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Yeah, I'm going to give it that too. That's exactly
Yeah.
what I was going to give
I
it.
think this is usually I think when we talk about movies like this that bring forward the particular feeling that this was,
Mhm.
we rate them a little higher.
Yeah.
But 8.5 I think is
Well,
pretty much spot on for this.
yeah, I don't know. It's not it does have rewatchability, but like it's not like
Nothing. It's in
not
a
like
way,
the
it's varied by
best.
the numbers.
Yeah.
But
Like
it's but it's still just so enjoyable that it makes
Mhm.
up for it completely.
yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it. Like I think 8.5 just seems right. Like
Yeah.
I definitely couldn't give this movie a 10. Like I just don't think it's like
No,
it's
not.
it's just like yeah, it's one you described it. There's something like not holding it back. It's just I don't know. It's just it is not in that category. Like 8.5 I think is like pretty perfect for it. So yeah. Yeah. I think that's about it. So yeah. I mean if you've never I can't believe this was a great like recommendation too. Like if you've never seen this one, like Check it out. It's a great movie. Great
Yeah, I
classic
think
movie.
most people living have probably seen it.
Yeah, I think if you haven't seen any of them, the first two are worth watching. I'd say you don't really have to watch the other ones. The second one, people like give shit, but I actually think the second one's a fun movie.
The second one is actually great. It's just there's a lot of buildup in that movie, and I think that the climax is lackluster for everything that we have to go.
I agree. I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's really good though.
Yeah.
Now
I can't believe this movie came out in '97. That's pretty great.
I know. I think I'm gonna watch that Sesame Street documentary today though. And maybe not.
That came out of left field. Why is that like relevant to 1997?
Oh, it's not. I was talking about something else.
Oh, I got you. It sounded like the way you like.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, because I was like, yeah, I was thinking all this talk about the second one. I was like, I could watch that right now.
Oh, okay. The way you like segued, it sounded like it had. I got you. I was just confused by the segue. I got you. Segues are weird. Okay.
Hey, segues, am I right, folks?
Am I right, folks? Yeah, I can't drive one.
On my Paul Blart Mall Cop.
That's going in. I'm fucking jotting that down right now. It's going in.
Yeah, you can have that one for free. Kevin James. People got to stop shitting on Kevin James. Guy's just trying to make his money at this point. King of Queens is a fucking great show.
I gotta tell you,
it really was.
Kevin James was a really good actor in one of these movies, and I was very surprised. God, what was the movie I saw him in recently, and I was like, that's Kevin James? And he was like a serious role, and I thought he was actually pretty good.
That one where he's like the Nazi with that girl?
I did.
That came out recently. I don't remember what it's called. Look it up, folks.
Wait, yes. It is that one.
Oh, it was that movie?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but like I've seen the trailer for it, and I was like,
yeah.
Oh, that's Kevin James. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think that was an A24 movie. That wouldn't surprise me. A24, baby. I'll be in contact with you soon enough.
Okay.
Anyhow, that's all we got on this great episode of Film Juice. I love the low energy ones. They're fun. We got our socials. You gotta check them out. You gotta check out the fucking socials. We got us on Instagram. We're on Instagram all day, every day, baby. At film_juice. You can also follow us on Twitter at filmjuicepod. And you can... Well, that's about it for that. But you can also listen to us, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the works. We're on Google. We're everywhere. If you have your ear to the street, we're there. And then if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcast or any of the likes, you can check us out on YouTube. See us, talk to a camera.
Joe is wearing a shirt, by the way, just so everybody knows. If you're watching and you've been wondering the whole time, that is a shirt.
Oh, yeah, it is a shirt.
Yeah.
It is a shirt. It just blends in with this camera. It's way more pink in real life, weirdly. Anyway, and yeah, you can see Andrew's hat. He's looking down at his phone quite a bit, so there's a good...
Oh, I'm sorry, I was doing some more doodling.
So you get to see a lot of his hat.
I'm so sorry, Joe. I love it.
Oh my god. I almost didn't do it, but I was like, oh, this is like too easy, so I want to do it.
It's so much better that you did. You should. I wish you had done it earlier.
Anyhow, but yes, and you can see this cool graphic. Okay, I'm gonna stop plugging that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. As always, my name's Joe Dorado.
I'm Andrew Canada, and we'll see you next time at the movies.
But will we though?
Yes, because they're open now. I'll see him there. I got phone calls to make.